I'm just here for everyone.
That's
She's the best.
That's the quote of the year. Well, thank you, Michelle.
I'm here for everyone, Bill.
Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters, and I am your host, Bill Knapik. Here it is, the very first show of the year, a fresh edition, super guests all the way around, also known as show number 548. That's right, we've been coming to you 548 weekends every week. And simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, you can see and hear the show at stewart.com/radio. Just in case you want to go to the show archives, they're all there, all 548 shows at stewart.com/radio. And Happy New Year to each and every one of you out there. Let's get down to business and welcome Jesse Fleming and Kelly Perkins. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
We're
so much.
happy to be here.
Well, super awesome, and we're going to have a lot of great things to talk about as you guys are in a really sensational place here in Houston, Texas, as far as where you focus your work. Let's tell people, first of all, your company is Compass. Jesse?
Yes, we are Lake Conroe Realty Group with Compass. We started out back in 2000 as a small boutique brokerage. We've been just about the number one brokerage on the lake since, and we merged with Compass back in 2021. So now we're Lake Conroe Realty Group.
And it's great that you mentioned the word lake, because as people listen to the show outside of Houston, they may not know that they think of Houston as a big city. They may not know that we have a lake, at least one or two lakes that are very popular. The most popular one, I think, is the one that you're focusing on,
Correct.
right, Kelly?
We're on Lake Conroe, and we're so very desirable for people that live in Houston because we're only less than an hour away from the main city. And it's a great place to go. Boating, restaurants, has great nightlife, lots of family-friendly activities.
Yep.
You know, it's just a great place. So we have a lot of full-timers that we help, but we also, I would say 50% or more of our business is just people who are buying weekend homes that live in Houston.
And I want to add to that, the school districts are incredible. Lake Creek ISD has just added a new school, high school to our area. And so we have Montgomery ISD, which is amazing, and then Willis ISD, which is growing so much. So the school districts for families that live there permanently are incredible.
So many great things going on. And as far as the whole idea of living near a lake, on a lake, people just want to be near water. And, of course, pricing will vary, and depending what part of the water or if you're near it, it's going to all depend. But give people an idea right now, the marketplace in the Lake Conroe area. How popular is it, and how busy are you guys right now as we start the year?
I think I can speak last year. Fast forward to this year, it is significantly more busy. So we've been off to a great start at the end of this last quarter and into this first quarter of 2025. In terms of housing, you can be water view in the 350s all the way to waterfronts over $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. So it really varies, but there's so much for each and every budget on the lake.
And Jesse, would it be safe to say, as we describe the pricing of these, as you mentioned, the pricing of these properties, someone could get, there's townhomes, there's
Condos.
townhouses,
Yep.
small homes, large estates on the lake. So
100%.
there's
Acreage on the water versus smaller deeded restricted communities.
Yeah, you could get a small one-bedroom condo for $150 or $200, or you can get a huge estate on the water for $4 million. So you really, there's a lot of variety.
Well, it sounds to me like for someone interested in property in the area, in the Montgomery County, they need to work with someone that knows the details and all the things that go with lake living. Sounds like you guys know a lot of stuff. Give us an idea what we should know about when considering a property in a lake area like this.
Yeah, there's so many special details that you have to know as a real estate agent when you're working with properties on Lake Conroe especially. Lake Conroe is special because the lake depths, they fluctuate depending on the time of year and the weather and things like that. So you really need to know a lot about the different areas and the depth of the lake in those areas, especially when the lake level is down, and what kind of boat your client is going to be having, whether or not they can be able to get their boat out, if they're going to be on open water, if they're going to be on a canal. You need to look at their bulkhead and make sure that the bulkhead looks good. There's so many different things to do with boat slips and covers of boat slips and what deed restrictions are allowed. There's a lot of really fine details that come into buying a house on Lake Conroe. And thankfully, we've got it all figured out.
You are the experts.
We are your local experts, born and raised.
And as far as the size, if someone were listening, and even Houstonians, myself, I don't know, I guess Lake Conroe is a big lake, but how would we say how big it is?
It's big.
I think it's 27 acres.
27,000?
Yeah.
Yeah,
27,000 acres.
27,000 acres of water.
Yes.
That's a lot of water.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's areas where it's deeper than others and so forth.
And then where it's shallow, there's channels still where you can get in and out, but you have to know the local experts or the fishing experts on the lake to help you get your boat in and out of the channels.
And one of you said about people that are buying the weekend homes. You said it's about 50%?
I would say it's close to 50-50. Definitely. 50% of the people live full-time, and the other 50% are just weekenders that come in for the weekend.
Well, give us an idea as far as other than Houstonians that either want to move to north, and also I think there's some desirable tax areas up there in Montgomery County,
definitely.
maybe more so than here. That's another thing. But outside of the Houstonians, I know you're serving people from outside of Houston. So give us an idea where they're coming from when you're working with a buyer outside of Houston, where they're coming from, and what attracts them to this area.
Yeah, so I can speak on that. I'm working with a client right now actually from California. Pretty much from 2019 to 22, we had so many Californians jump on the lake and invest in our properties. Some Coloradians, Floridians, New Yorkers just moved here into April Sound specifically. So they're pretty much from all over. The taxes are low on the lake in almost all of the neighborhoods, so that's a big benefit to owners. And then of course you're on the water, so it feels like you're on vacation.
And I feel like I'm on vacation just talking with you two. It's amazing. So, but how do they find Jesse Fleming and Kelly Perkins from California or Colorado? How does that happen?
Well, we're with Compass, and so it's a great company because we have a nationwide network of Compass realtors. So a lot of the leads that we get that are coming from California, they're working with a Compass agent to sell their house in Colorado or in California. And so they reach out to us because we are the Compass Lake Conroe agents. And so we get a lot of our business that way through the Compass nationwide network, which is also great for people that live here and might be relocating. Say they're going to move to Tennessee. Well, we can find you the top realtor over in Tennessee once you list your property and you're moving.
It's funny you mentioned of all the 50 states you could have mentioned, Kelly.
Yes.
Why Tennessee? Why was that top of mind? Just curious.
Because I was supposed to be there today on a trip, but I stopped and I didn't go because of this.
Work.
Well, actually, Tennessee is
truth.
Well, I think about Tennessee every now and then because it's a tremendous state.
Yes.
It is. It's growing so much.
It's growing. You talk about Californians are moving there. We've had realtors on from Tennessee.
A lot of Texan realtors I know that own land now in Tennessee.
Yeah, no state income tax, very scenic. So a lot of tremendous things in Tennessee. So, yes, the people from California, come to Texas, they go to Tennessee as well. So,
Which I want to add, land too is so amazing in Montgomery County. It's really one of the only areas outside of Houston that you can still afford land out there. Kind of. It's getting pretty expensive, but you can own land and acreage, about 10 acres, and still be about 5 minutes to the lake. So we also work with a lot of land clients who want to be on the land, but also have access to the lake at their leisure.
well, we also want to remind people as we talk about you helping people around the lake, you're serving buyers and sellers all over Houston,
Absolutely,
so you're not restricted. I mean, you know about a lot of areas. And speaking of that right quick, Jesse, as far as land, let's say someone wants to go to Montgomery County and have a little bit of land, and they're not really worried about waterfront or anything like that, but let's say they want more of a cabinish, because there's a lot of forest up there. Those that are listening outside of Texas, there's a lot. There's the Sam Houston Forest right up there. It's gigantic.
On a huge portion of the lake that you can't build on.
So what if we want a cabin, say, in the forest and maybe 2-3 acres? Is that possible?
If you want a cabin, you're going to have to go up north of the lake, definitely, and your budget will be significantly more doable. You could probably get a cabin for $200,000 to $300,000 on 2 to 3 acres.
I'll take
but that's
two.
going to be more like North Willis.
Sounds good to me. We're talking with Kelly Perkins and Jesse Fleming. They're with Compass. Well, ladies, before we close this segment, Jesse, what else do you want people to know?
I want you to know that it matters who you work with, especially on Lake Conroe, and we are your local experts here to help you.
Local experts doing tremendous work 24/7. And Jesse, if someone wants to reach out to you, let's tell them how to reach you.
Yes, you can find me on social media at Jesse Fleming _Compass or 832-334-2554 is my phone number.
The number again is?
832-334-2554.
And Kelly, what else do you want people to know?
I guess the best thing I would like for people to know is that our team, we treat you like family, and our relationships mean everything to us. And so when you work with us, you're working with us, and we are going to treat you the very best, just like we would treat our own family members. And people say that all the time. They're like, we loved working with y'all because you love us. And, it's just a great,
care so much.
It's a great relationship. We care so much about our people.
And how can we reach you, Kelly Perkins?
Okay, so I guess on Instagram, it's ms.kelly.perkins. And my cell phone is 936-900-4100.
Again, the number is?
936-900-4100.
Thanks, ladies, for being with us.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
As we continue, let's talk to Jamie Bertrand. She is with Elite Real Estate Services, and she is on the board of directors of HAR in the Southwest region. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
Hello, I'm back.
You are back, and it's been a while. You were on the show, I don't know, last year sometime.
Yes.
And, of course, everything before today was last year.
It was last year.
Because we're in a brand new year, and you're doing tremendous work helping buyers and sellers. First of all, let's tell people about Elite Real Estate Services and what you're doing and where you're practicing.
So, Elite Real Estate Services, we are a boutique brokerage. I am the principal broker. I have a small team. We are actually located in Missouri City, and I have an office in Los Angeles as well. So I am dual brokered. And we assist with residential and commercial purchases, transactional, investments. We have a wide array of clients that we work with.
And let's give people an idea, especially those that might be outside of Houston listening on the internet or something, as far as Missouri City and Fort Bend geographically, where that might be, as someone would think. They think about Houston, this big old city, but give us an idea of where those places are for those that don't know.
So Missouri City is southwest. It's about 20 miles outside of the Houston area, maybe about 10 miles from Sugar Land. So we handle Sugar Land, Missouri City, Fresno, Rosenberg, Richmond, Katy, some parts of Katy that is in Fort Bend County.
And we'll tell people that's a very popular area as far as Houston goes. So as far as the marketplace right now, give us an idea what's happening with buyers and sellers in the South.
So it depends, right? Because everything is market centered. So, for example, some parts of Missouri City, especially the master plan communities where there are builders, the homes are sitting a little longer when it comes to resale, but new construction has been pretty busy. We have been seeing an average of 4.3 months days on market for resale, but for new construction, because of the builders are able to give incentives. They're able to buy down interest rates. So a lot of times the sellers can't compete with that. So the market is better with new construction than it is for resale.
That's right. We've been hearing a lot about how builders are giving, and they have the ability to give certain incentives, throw things in, and these sorts of things. But not everyone wants a brand new home, and it depends. But at least you have that inventory there.
Right. But it's the principle of substitution, right? So if you have homes that are resale that are the same amount of a new construction home, typically the buyer, depending on the buyer, they're going to go toward the new construction home.
Well, you mentioned Los Angeles. We can't not talk about it because a lot of people are moving from California, and I'm going to guess you're helping people that want to be here in Houston.
Correct.
But there's probably a few that want to go to the West Coast or not.
I have not seen that yet, and that was part of the reason I got licensed in California. So I moved here from California about 20 years ago. My sphere of influence there is strong. So when I was relocating a lot of people from California to Houston, I decided, you might as well go ahead and get your broker's license there so I could manage both transactions and make it a seamless transaction for the client, having to deal with one person and one company.
Real visionary. I think that takes vision. But what city in California did you live?
Los Angeles, Long Beach, that area.
See, one of my favorite places is Laguna Beach. So when you go south, for people that know the area, you go south on Route 1, you can hit Laguna Beach. That's a very beautiful and popular area.
It's expensive too, yeah.
Very expensive. So now that you're here in Houston, what do you miss most about California?
Oh, the views, the mountains, the beaches. I don't miss the taxes. I don't miss the cost of living, but the views are remarkable, unmatched.
They really are.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, when you're sitting in Missouri City, at least we could have our imagination, right?
Well, and I can always travel
That's right.
and then come back home to where I could live comfortably, yes.
No doubt about it. In the meantime, I mentioned that you are on the board of directors of HAR. Let's tell people, in case they don't know about HAR, and what you're doing on the board there.
So HAR is the Houston Association of Realtors, and they are one of the largest associations in America. So they do have a governing body. They have a chair, and they also have an executive board of about, I want to say maybe 8 people. And then they have the board of directors, which is about maybe 12. And what we do is we just make sure that our association, one, is relevant, that we continue to roll out information, classes that will keep our realtors relevant and keep them employed. We also determine our MLS, what to add to it. Those fields that people talk about that's not there. We determine if we want to add a field there, or even our dues. We have not had a dues increase in years, and that's because our board decided that we want to keep it affordable for our realtors. So there are many hats that we wear to run our association, but it is agent-centric. Everything that we do, every decision we make is tailored toward the success of the members of HAR.
And when you mention agents here in Houston, do you have an idea about how many million, or no, how many are there?
So we have about an estimate of 44,000 members of HAR.
So that means if you're listening again outside, that's about 44,000 people have the real estate license, give or take.
Correct.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And then out of that group, there's still a certain percentage that are practicing every day, and it's, I don't know what that, do you have an idea what that number would be?
I don't have that. Yeah, but there's a saying that 10% of the realtors are doing the work, that are actually having transactions.
So there you are. I don't know how you manage your time, Jamie, because here you are, you have interest in California, certainly in Missouri City, Fort Bend, but also you are working with HAR.
Yes.
So how do you manage your time? Because all those things each one of them on their own, I think, is more than a full-time job. How do you do it and stay so calm and have such a beautiful smile? Well,
it used to be, alcohol. It used to be alcohol.
That's my New Year's resolution right there.
But I stopped drinking almost 2 years ago. So I go to the gym every day, 5 a.m. I work out. I meditate, a lot of meditation. But I have a husband. I have 3 children. And my in-laws, they're very supportive of me and my goals. So it's all about managing your time.
And it helped, as you're saying, too. It helps, all kidding aside, it helps to have a team and helps to have
I do have a team.
support
yes,
behind
absolutely.
you.
Yeah. I have a team professionally and personally.
Very powerful components, no doubt, to your success. In the meantime, as you are with HAR and as you're practicing real estate every day, what is the outlook, especially at HAR, when you're in meetings and things, when you all get together, and even at the end of last year, what's the outlook for 2025? What's the excitement? I think there's excitement, right?
There is excitement. There's certainty, but I don't have numbers. We haven't had our forecast just yet. We are the Young Professionals Network of HAR. We are having a forecast on January 8th. I believe that's Wednesday. So, if this airs before it, I don't think it is, but
You'll air Sunday.
We do have a forecast coming up. So I don't have those numbers just yet, but I can say there is a lot of certainty and there's a lot of excitement of what 2025 is to bring.
Well, we always hear about interest rates, too.
Yes.
From the realtor standpoint, what are you hearing about interest rates through HAR? No one really knows, but we like to talk about it.
So interest rates for me have been steady. I think what happened is during COVID, when the rates went from 2% to 5-6%, there was a shock there. So I think buyers are coming off of that shock and they are more not willing to pay, but they are more accepting of the new interest rates. So I have been seeing 7% for my transactions for my clients. I haven't seen anything less than that. But I'm optimistic that rates will drop soon.
And at this point in time, as you're helping buyers and sellers, are you helping more buyers at this point or sellers?
So, well, buyers are buying. I am working with buyers and sellers, but my buyers are they're going under contract and purchasing homes faster than my listings. My listings have been sitting a little while, but again, I'm optimistic. Right after the new year, I've had an influx of showings on my listings, so we'll see how that goes.
That sounds awesome. And Jamie, before we close this segment, what else do you want people to know?
Well, I want people to know that I am here as a resource, especially realtors. I'm here as a resource. If there's anything that you feel that you need or the association needs to change, then you can always reach out to me. Of course, I am a relocation specialist as well. So if you're looking to relocate from California to Houston, or if you want to leave Houston, go back to California, I am here as a resource.
Well, I might want to go to California, so I'll be sure to keep that in mind. And Jamie, let's tell people how they can reach you.
So I am Jamie Bertrand across all social media platforms. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram is Jamie Bertrand. My number is 713-538-4924.
Number again is?
713-538-4924.
Jamie, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's time once again to talk money. First time to talk money in this brand new year. We now have Josh Ainsworth. His company is Advanced Lending Solutions. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, here you are. Money is the lifeblood of almost everything, especially real estate. So let's tell people about your company, Advanced Lending Solutions.
Well, I'm Director of Business Development for Advanced Lending Solutions. We are a local wholesale brokerage operation. Been in business about 15 years. I've been with the company about a year and a half. Previously came from a new construction. Spent many years there and wanted to go strictly into finance. But our business model is built on, we're kind of the loan fixers. About 40% of our clients have been turned down by other banking institutions. Why that is, or why we're successful, what we do is we work with over 30 different banks, have access to a lot of products that your average credit union or banking institutions are not going to have. And through that, it allows us to be very aggressive, control the deal, and also make our realtors look like heroes at the end of the day.
So, and I think you kind of answered the question, but even just to embellish, as you mentioned right when you started out, a wholesale mortgage. Tell us about the wholesale part. Is that because you have access to so many companies?
Right. Wholesale it's a fancy term for just being independent, really. Like I said, we're constantly accruing more banks. We work with about 30 different institutions right now. So that allows us to grow our business in a lot of different trajectories. And we're not going to be limited to products that your average bank would be stuck with, if not.
And Josh, as far as geographically, you're certainly right here in Houston, but is there an area that you focus on more with your business, or what's your geographic span here?
We are licensed in 5 states. Texas is definitely where we're based. We're based out of League City and Seabrook, Texas. We have 2 offices there. But Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Michigan, we've got a pretty wide range of market area.
And then right now, again, we're here at the beginning of the year. As your company gets together, you have meetings and you forecast, and you like everybody else, especially maybe more so because you're in the money business, you're forecasting and thinking, what's the interest rate's going to be? What's the outlook that you have as someone working in a mortgage company?
I mean, I think there's a lot of optimism in this market right now. 2025, I think we're going to see a lot more inventory. First of all, I think it's going to become a lot more competitive. People waiting on the market, I kind of giggle when I hear people say that. It never gets cheaper to buy. Rates are rates. You could see even we had 3 different interest rate reductions in the last year, and mortgage rates are still going up or trending up a little bit. So I expect more of that in 2025, probably more in 2026. But, the old golden rules still apply. It never gets cheaper to buy. You're better off purchasing than potentially refinancing when rates shift. And, there's a lot of confidence going into the market right now.
Well, those are very powerful words in many categories. It doesn't get cheaper to buy.
It doesn't.
I mean, because there's always something going up. If it's not the interest rate, it's going to be the insurance, or the home is appreciating.
Rates go down, inventory goes up, buyers go up, prices, it's basically a wash.
So at any given point when someone's looking at a property or several properties, investors or whatever, you just have to look at the total picture, right?
Absolutely.
And the money part still is a very important component. So as far as the type of people that you're helping and the type of loans, give us an idea of all the loans, because I think that's one of the things. If I'm looking for a loan, I'm going to rely on someone like you to say, man, I don't know what kind of loan is the best for my situation. So how does that work? How do you tailor that to the individual or the family? What's the right type of loan?
Great question. Asking the right questions, knowing your buyers. You really need to be guiding your clients at that point. We have great down payment assistance programs. They're grant money that you do not have to pay back. 100% conventional products. We've got a bevy of loans for your average buyer and your first time buyers. And that's where you make your money, is leading them in the right direction and starting the right way. It always begins with financing. It's the most important part.
And what about are you helping a lot of first time buyers? Are they out there?
They are. I mean, with the new generations coming up, that's they're going to be the buying class before you know it. So you have to build a business or tailor your business model to work with those clients.
And let's take the last 10 loans that you've helped people with. About what's the average amount that these last 10 loans, how much have they put down? They put down 20, 3, What's the average amount you're seeing?
I think that money's always better off in your bank account or invested elsewhere than your down payment in your home. Like I said, we have 100% products that I've done 2 of those in the last 60 days where client actually came to the table with less than $1,000 in closing costs. So, I mean, I always want to keep as much money in your bank account as possible and put as little down.
And if there are any veterans out there that are listening, and as far as products that the veterans have available to them, what would you tell the veterans that might want to give you a call?
You should definitely call because our rates are extremely competitive in that space. We can help vets down to 580 credit right now, which is pretty unheard of. There are lenders that are lending it in that kind of a credit score. You earned it. You worked. You worked hard for that to have that kind of a right as a consumer, and you should jump on it.
So the veterans have certain specific benefits that they have access to. So that's a great thing. You mentioned a credit score. What is this? Do you see when someone works with you, you get an idea of their score? You see their score?
Yeah, immediately. I mean, that's
so. If I apply for a loan right away, you're going to say, "Hey, Bill's got X score," right? You would know.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, basically, yes.
Yeah, mine's very high, by the way. No kidding. So in the meantime, though, I had just read an article in today's Wall Street Journal, today being Monday, about a guy that's an engineer. You know, engineers like to have things perfected. There's a guy that worked, he had an 820 or an 830 credit score, and he was trying to figure out the variables, how he could get the perfect score. And according to the Wall Street Journal article, it was 850. But he worked and tweaked all his things, his financial things, to where he actually achieved an 850 credit score. So now he's going to work at keeping that score for 3 months to see if he could do that. I've never heard of that. It was front page, Wall Street Journal.
It's an interesting goal.
In fact, I didn't know 850 was the top score. How often do you see in the 800s?
One and never.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy who's had to rebuild his credit a couple times. I'll be honest. I mean, it's pretty rare, and there's not much of a difference in the eyes of a bank in 800 and 740. Really, I mean, you're going to have pretty much the same.
740 is pretty good though, too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's if you want great credit, that's pretty much kind of the number that people strive for.
So then, would you say you see more credit scores in the 700s? Or in the high 6s.
I would say mid to high 6s. But I mean that's buyer territory. We could do a lot with we.
But you're also saying when you started out that you're helping people that others that have been turned down. You said that, right?
Right. A lot of the times it's not so much credit as income verification and things along those lines. Self-employed people. We have a couple mass tract home builders who send all of their turn downs to us because we have the ability to work, to find the perfect loan for that buyer.
So it's important for someone that's either working with an employer or if they're self-employed, just to have documents ready to go when they talk to someone like you, Josh Ainsworth.
You always want to be organized and have those kind of product, have that documentation. But we do have loan programs that are self-made, profit and loss, no tax returns, no bank statements. I mean, once again, kind of working on the wholesale side, as I refer to it. We find loans that most people don't even know exist in my industry.
Sounds like where there's a will, there's a way.
Always.
Josh Ainsworth. Josh, let's tell people how they can reach you at Advanced Lending Solutions.
My phone is my office. I'm gonna give it there. 281-707-2815.
Again, the number is
281-707-2815.
Thank you so much, Josh Ainsworth. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance, With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is with Stewart Insurance, John Bramlett.
Happy New Year, Bill.
Well, Happy New Year, a fresh show for 2025. We call it show number 548, and here we are once again talking about insurance and so many other great things.
Yes, it's been a fantastic show so far, and it's a great way to kick off the year.
Indeed it is, and of course, everybody awaits the insurance segment because it's always awesome and interesting at the same time.
Well, for our listeners' consideration, I have some thoughts. 10 potential insurance New Year's resolutions.
Well, here we go. Let's go. 10.
10. So number 1 is know your wants and needs. So whether you're an individual, a family, or a real estate business, from an insurance perspective, what are the things that are a better way to put it would be your musts and your wants. So what is a must? And then what would I like to have? And if you're not sure about how to delineate the two, then, find a good insurance advisor to help you work through that. So that would be number 1, knowing your musts and your wants. Number 2 would be have the ability to share your concerns with your advisor. So maybe not so much about specific things within a policy, but what are my concerns about coverage? What am I concerned about somebody saying that a member of my team discriminated against them, so I need to make sure I've got coverage there? Or am I concerned that I want to make sure that I have the right amount of water damage for my home policy? So understanding what those concerns you have are, and again, if you're not quite sure how to get there, then find an insurance advisor to have that conversation. And that leads us into resolution number 3, and that's to have a good insurance advisor, to have somebody on your team that works with you and your family or your real estate business that has your best intent in mind, that they're truly trying to build you an overall plan for yourself or your family or your business versus just selling you a policy. Somebody that you can lean on to help you figure out those musts and wants, or somebody that you can lean on to figure out what those concerns are. So that would be number 3, just having a really solid insurance advisor.
And I understand, John, 2025 is the year of having a great insurance advisor, like the team at Stewart Insurance.
It is. It is the new year of that, and Stewart Insurance happens to be an excellent resource for those insurance advisors. Resolution number 4 is consider combining your home and auto. That if you're willing to work with us or any insurance advisor and combine your home and auto with the same insurance company, many times they will give you a break on both premiums. So it's a way that we can save some money on our premiums. One way we can look at it is combining our home and auto with the same insurance company. Number 5, and this is for our investors that are out there, is understand, or those that work with our investors out there, understand how the property is being used. Because based upon how the property is being used is going to drive the type of coverages that are available. So if you're buying a home and it's going to be your primary residence, you're going to be looking at home insurance. But if you're buying a home and that's going to be an investment property and you're going to have long-term rentals, then that would be dwelling fire coverage. But if you've got a short-term rental, then that's even a different type of coverage. So making sure that those that work with our investors or those that are investors understand that how the property is being used is going to drive the coverage. So that was number 5. Number 6, especially if you live in the greater Houston area, but anywhere, is consider flood coverage. Have a conversation, at least consider having flood insurance. And if you do have flood insurance, take a look to make sure that it's still ample for what your needs are in today's market. So number 6 is consider flood insurance. Number 7 is if you do open houses, if you're a realtor or a real estate broker and you do a lot of open houses, take a look at have general liability insurance or business owners policies. So it helps with things like bodily injury if somebody were to get hurt at the open house, or if, property damage if you were to damage somebody's property at the open house. That helps. What a business owner's plan does is it takes that general liability policy that I just mentioned and add in commercial property, so business personal property. So you can get things like your desks and your chairs and your computers and your printers and your servers covered as well. So if you do open houses, consider it a general liability policy or a business owner's policy. Number 8, we're seeing more and more people work remotely. And with that case, while it's very convenient both for the brokerages as well as for the individual realtors, with people working remotely, we're not always sure where they work. We're not always sure how secure the systems are. We're not always sure how secure the Wi-Fi that they're using is. So consider cyber liability coverage. That we're just seeing more and more issues with these cyber criminals coming in and attacking businesses, and especially real estate firms, because of the size of the transactions that we handle and the amount of personal private information that we handle. So, number 8 is to take a look at cyber coverage. Number 9 is just being properly insured, making sure that you are comfortable with the coverage that you have. So it could be the most robust policy in the world or policies, or it could be very conservative. As long as you're comfortable with what that coverage is, whether you're a real estate broker, a property management firm, an independent title and attorney agent, or just a family, as long as you're comfortable with what that coverage is, in our minds, you're properly insured. So that would be number 9. And then number 10 is make sure that you listen to Real Estate Matters every week.
Very important.
Yes. Number 10, listen to Real Estate Matters.
And we might remind people, not only listen every week, but you might hear something today on today's show you want to hear again, or you may say, gee, I wonder what they were doing in October of last year, or what topics were covered in December. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. It's that easy. They're all there, and they get an extra bonus, John. As you know, they not only hear the show, but they could see the YouTube video of the fantastic guests that we have each and every week for 548 weeks.
Well, and I would amend that a little bit then now, that resolution to not only listen to the show, but work with our guests. At least give our guests an opportunity to earn your business. And
that's right, because they'll give phone numbers along the way, and you might miss the phone number if you're driving or so forth. Again, just go to stewart.com/radio, and you really, the information that we get, even though we do this each and every week, you and I, the things that we hear and the knowledge that the people we have that are our guests, it's incredible.
Yeah, there's never a show that we don't learn something.
As it says in the very beginning, inform, entertain, and inspire. We work at doing all those things each and every show, and somehow the guests do it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the guests are the key.
Exactly. Well, John, what else should we know?
Well, if you would like to be properly insured, or if you would like to talk with us about one of those 10 resolutions, or all 10, we would be happy to do so, and you can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com and learn more about the company at stewartinsurance.com.
John, I understand if they call during regular business hours, they also get an 11th bonus.
And that's correct, that they'll speak with somebody live versus getting caught in some sort of a recording tree.
No doubt about it. John, one more time, the phone number. Someone right now in Lake Conroe is listening. They're on a kayak. They want to know the phone number once again. It is
866-798-2827.
Thank you so much. John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. And now Hope Moy is here for a quick word. Hope, welcome back. This is your first word for 2025 on the show, and I know you love being here and you're bringing tremendous guests all the way along. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's good to see you.
Let's tell people your offices are.
So I work in the Magnolia and Conroe offices in Montgomery County. My Magnolia office is off of 1488 and 2978. I have 3 escrow officers there. Kelly Ernst is our branch manager alongside Robin Mays and Courtney Minga. And in Conroe, I have Michelle Taylor, who is our branch manager, and Marla Wells. And that office is off of 336 and 105.
Such growth areas of Houston. We got the paparazzi here, the ladies of the lake. It's so cool. Wish they were here every week. So in the meantime, let's tell people, Hope, the phone numbers in case they want to bring their real estate transactions to you. And I know they do. The phone number
please.
is?
My number is 346-224-1908. Again, 346-224-1908. I cannot wait to work with you this year.
Thank you, Hope Moy. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Bill.
soon. Jana McGuire, a quick word from Jana from Clear Lake. Jana, welcome and Happy New Year.
Hey, Bill.
Well,
How are you?
Well, doing great. It's always great to be here. It's great. Jana, let's tell people about your office.
So I am Stewart Title, Clear Lake. I'm over off of Space Center Boulevard, close to Bay Area. So we're in the middle of Clear Lake, literally, and over by NASA. If you've ever liked to come down and visit.
Well, and it's interesting. Each area that we talk about, you're in a whole different area than Hope, and you two are in a very positive growth area. It's amazing.
It is. It's a big area, and there's also a lot of water. People come over there for a lot of water activities, jet skiing, boating, because we have Kima down there and the bay. So
Lots
it takes
of
you out
great
the
views,
Galveston
yeah.
Bay. So, yeah.
Super real estate. And if someone wants to bring their transaction to you, let's tell them how to reach you.
They can. It's 832-244-3439. 832-244-3439.
And yes, we thank you, Jana. We not only have two business development officers here today, but a third, Kevin Davidson. Kevin, quick word. There you are, Fort Bend, doing tremendous work.
Thanks, Bill.
And Jamie Bertrand, you brought her today.
Jamie Bertrand, great real estate agent. So, yes, I have two offices like Hope does. I represent the Richmond office and the Sugar Land office. The Richmond office is off of 762 and 59, and the Sugar Land office is right off the freeway at Derry Ashford on 59.
And if someone wants to reach you, Kevin Davidson, what should they do?
Call me at 832-654-0527 or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com.
The phone number again is
832-654-0527.
Kevin Davidson. Thank you,
Thank you
Kevin.
for having me.
And now we have Kelly, Jesse, maybe Michelle, just for a quick word with Compass Real Estate. First, since we did not hear from Michelle yet, here's Michelle. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Howdy, Bill. How are you?
Doing great. You are Michelle Christner.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
You're with the team here. Tremendous ladies. How did you all assemble such a magnificent team, the three of you?
I just think the good Lord brought us all together. It was meant to be. I've been a part of this team for 15 years. Our founders are Jamie and Allison Yancey. They have been in the business for over 25 years and founded Lake Conroe Realty. So we are blessed to even be able to be a part of it and work for them and work with them.
No doubt about it. And when you first got here to the show, you and the other two, you mentioned that you were the emotional support component. And I want to say your powers of emotional support even transferred to me, and I appreciate it.
I'm just here for everyone.
She's the best.
That's the quote of the year. Well, thank you, Michelle. Michelle, if someone wants to reach you and buy some real estate, what is your phone number?
My personal cell phone is 936-520-1076. Again, 936-520-1076. If you are interested in seeing if the lake lifestyle is for you, I would encourage you to visit our website, which is lakeconroerealty.com. lakeconroerealty.com. It has maps and along with all the current listings in the area.
And just say it one more time. I'm here for everyone.
I'm here for everyone, Bill.
Thank you. And Kelly, before
Yes,
we
sir.
close, let's tell people how to reach you in a final word.
Okay. My cell phone is 936-900-4100, and I would just love the opportunity to show you around the lake. Sometimes we even get to go look at lake houses by boat. So
That's what I want to do.
Yes. So if you want to go see some lake properties by boat, our team is who to call.
Can we bring a lunch?
Yes, and a drink.
That sounds good. And now, thank you. The phone number again is?
936-900-4100.
And Jesse Fleming.
Yep. I'll hop in. I'm back.
There you are, Jesse. So in the meantime, what else should we know and how can we reach you?
Well, I just want to reiterate, the lake has a lot of components to it, whether it's the bulkhead, the canals, the channels, the location, floodplain, and history. So we are the local experts that know it all. And my phone number is 832-334-2554.
And I like that. The lake has a lot of components, doesn't it?
It does.
No doubt about it. The phone number again is?
832-334-2554.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And she is back, taking a break from her board of directors activities at HAR and Elite Real Estate Services, Jamie Bertrand. Jamie, you are back. And a final word, Jamie, what should people know?
You should know that whether you are a realtor, a buyer, seller, investor, that you can call me. My contact information is Jamie Bertrand across all social media platforms. My number is 713-538-4924. And I also want to leave with this because there are so many new agents in this industry, and they feel like the successful agents are gatekeepers. I'm not a gatekeeper. I share any knowledge, any resources that I have, so I am definitely a resource to anyone who needs assistance.
That's right. And lending a helping hand at all times. That's part of also what HAR does.
Correct.
Do you have an idea when we think about HAR, you mentioned new realtors, how many are coming on board? I mean, like in 2024, do you have an idea how many new ones?
I don't have that number,
I mean, it's probably several thousand.
We have dropped.
Oh, you dropped?
Yeah, the membership has dropped a little bit. And I would suspect that it may drop a little bit more this year, but I don't have those numbers.
Interesting. How can people reach you, Jamie?
Jamie Bertrand across all social media platforms, and my cell phone number is 713-538-4924.
Nice to see you again. Thanks for
too.
being
Thank
with
you
us.
for having me.
Josh Ainsworth is back. Josh, it's the end of the show. Let's tell people how they can reach you and a final word.
Well, you can reach me at 281-707-2815. 2025 is going to be a big year. Anybody thinking about getting into investing, we've got a lot to look forward to this year coming. Any investors that are currently buying or selling or building homes, we've got a division that strictly works with cash outs, helps you move your money around, find more investment properties, things like that.
Sounds good. So if you need money, call Josh. We can make it simple, right?
If you need real estate services in general, I'm an investor, I'm a buyer, I'm a builder, and I would love to loan you money.
There you go. Phone number is
281-707-2815.
Thanks for being with us. And thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, together with John Bramlett and all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance. And I'm going to borrow a line from Michelle Christner and say, I'm here for everybody. That's right, 2025, I'm here. Stewart Title is here for you. Stewart Insurance is here for you. And by the way, certainly here in Houston, we have many, many offices, 17 or so, many business development people, but we are also an international company traded on the New York Stock Exchange as STC. So we're here all over to help you in case you're listening from California or anywhere else. Thanks for listening. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's stewart.com/radio. We'll see you next week, and Happy New Year.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, for informative and entertaining information when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate, tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance.